Can I qualify for the English PGA Championship qualifier at Enmore Park in the pissing rain? Let's find out. And we're actually going to do this voiceover in one take, alright? So this could go pretty rogue, so just stay with me. So this is the trip up, bit of AG1. This is not a sponsored video, but I've been absolutely smashing it recently.
Not famously say.
Breakfast was banging at Enmore, I may add. Now, the warm-up, I'm sort of getting ready for golf in a different way that I used to. I used to be on the range, hitting a load of balls, but now I'm mainly just doing the towel work and the drills that Liam's got me on at the moment, just to sort of wake up my body, get me moving in a way that I want to before I go out. Now this stuff, you may think, what's this tosser doing? But I reckon there's something in this, you know, especially if you got a bit of a break between shots and stuff on the golf course, just getting your coordination working for the day, doing some ball juggles, could have used a better phrase, and then a bit of left-handed chipping into some normal chipping, just getting a feel, and then it is into basically before you go out, you want to get the speed of the greens, so I'd hit some longer putts, but also you want to get your start line. So I'd write a chalk line out, do some start line stuff, and then it is into purely just getting the pace. And I like to really focus the pace, or getting the pace, on these 20 footers that you're going to have a lot of for birdie. When you get inside of 20, 30, that your make range goes up quite a lot. So I'm really focusing on getting that foot past pace on those putts. Onto the tee.
This is match number 15. First on the tee, representing Dainton Park Golf Club, James Wiltshire.
So this first hole is, yeah, like I said, I've not played it. The first hole is about 40 yards uphill. 2-iron was the play, in my opinion, just because we had trouble left. And I hit a pretty decent shot in here and misread the putt by a cut, but this is 20 foot, so like I was more than happy with this. Pretty solid starting for a par, and you may notice the fact that it's absolutely pissing it down. This happens a lot today. So this was something that I've just added as well, is getting a judge for slope, as an uphill downhill, with this sort of like aim point fills midway between a putt. And this was a prime example. It looked really downhill. It in fact wasn't downhill, and you can sometimes be deceived by your eyes with the way that you look at slopes, especially on a very slopey golf course, and it actually helped a lot. So this is approach into 3, just playing pretty safe here, left myself 30 foot up the hill, and 3 putted. The greens were pretty slow. They rolled pretty well, but they were pretty slow. Rain coming in again. These are some GB gummies that I got sent, which have caffeine and electrolytes as well. This is for eagle on, I think this is on around hole 6 or 7. Hit 2 nice shots in there, and that got me back to level par. Now, this is the par 3. I believe this may actually be 7. And this is where the tee shot went. It was in the trees, or it hit one of the trees, which was next to, not far from the green, you can see it behind, and it just plopped down into the hazard. The wind sort of like changed on me. This putt, I feel like that should have probably gone in, to be fair. Cheeky little bar steward. Up hole 8, I had my driver in my hand, and then I realised I've not seen the hole, or not seen the golf course, so it was a pretty conservative strategy for most of the round, for good reason. It's just a very tight, fiddly golf course. Missed that shot quite a way right on hole 8.
Tell you what, boys and girls, not the course to play if you got a left miss. Yeah, that is every single hole on the front 9. Just left of the rough is OB.
Yeah, so I was just saying to the camera that this was the 9th hole in the row where OB was on the left side of the hole. So don't come here if you got a left miss. Ouch. Bit harsh, that, for birdie. I doubled that par 3, by the way, on 8. So I was 2 over through 9 holes. Now this is a brute, 430 uphill into wind, hole 10, par 4. which was playing about 500 yards. Drive out to the left, nudged it over. That took the weirdest kick. I think it landed in a pitch mark. I left myself 6 foot for par, which I missed. Bit of a shit stroke there. So that was 3 over. Now, I'm looking at the scores thinking 2 or 1's probably almost definitely going to get through. 2 is going to be close. It's top 15 get through to the finals, which is actually at Bowood, which is in our region, in the West region. And I just come off a bogey, so I'm 4 over at this point. Now, this is a really nice drive and a nice wedge shot from 80, which I knocked in there pretty close to about 6 foot. Honestly thought I'd missed out on the low side. So got 1 back. As you can see, pretty breezy day. Wind and rain just came in about 4 times. This is the par 3 15th, and just didn't really give this a very good roll, but it's like 35 foot. Hold it for par. So 3 holes left. Really, we need 2 birdies here to get back to 1 to make it a sure thing that we're gonna get through to the final. This was a really frustrating tee shot. I thought this was the play. It ended up, you could probably hit a big high cut around here. Left myself a really awkward shot. This is a long par 5 up the hill. And then, as you can see, pretty pissed off. Need a birdie here. This is 175. I think it's playing almost 10 up. Wind's off the right. So it's a really tough one to try and gauge what club to hit. I ended up playing a 180 feeling 6 iron. And this come out really nice. Just a nice little low controlled 6 iron up the green. And when I got up there, I've realised I had a really makeable putt. So this is about 12 foot. This is a foot outside the left edge. I knew this needed to go in. Come on. That was actually straight in the middle as well. That was bloody lovely. I think that's a scarecrow behind the green, what they're doing with those balls, by the way, if you're wondering. 17, nice tee shot, 4 iron off the tee, and then I had 80. Not the best wedge shot. Left myself 20 foot. Pretty aggressive this, to be fair. I was always thinking at least make par here, which I did. Had to hold that, which was actually outside the hole. Little lady going for a ride. On a horse, and then it's 18. So this is downhill, downwind. Now the trees come out at 280. It really tightens up. So I'm just thinking, nudge a 4 iron down there at like 260 to 280 because it's downhill and down the wind. This ended up going like 300 yards in a really good spot. So I've got 170-ish. And I've got 9 iron. No, in fact, this was wedge. Really back foot, closed off. Just trying to... bit of body English. Just really trying to get it going right to left and taking the slope. And then I had this chip, which is onto a green that's severely downhill. And I just knew I needed to play the back foot, low, checky 60, and this come out really nice. A bit of pressure on it, to be fair. And this was tracking. So, chipped it to a foot. It's honestly, like, my short games come on so much. Chipped it to a foot, hold it to 1 over. And now this is the situation with the scores. So like I said, there's 15 spots that qualified to go to Bowood for the PGA Championship, English PGA Championship final. Before we get to the next page, I am in the process of taking on an editor who I may also be able to persuade him to film, or I'll be able to get a filmer for the following tournaments coming up, like Open qualifying and maybe the final of this. So I appreciate this is just a camera and a voiceover. It's not the best content in the world, but I will be upping it as I get my editor in place, and it's going to make a massive difference because I can finally practice. I talked about this recently in a vlog. I can finally put effort into my game. And as I said, I thought if I get to 1 over, I'll be definitely through. Now, I did get to 1 over, and this was the outcome. So I was checking the scores when I got in because there's a couple groups to come in, and I'm pretty sure one of the lads eagled the last to knock me out of 14th or 15th spot. Knocked me down. Well, a couple of lads knocked me back to 16th, which, as you can see, is first alternate. Now, the previous years of the English PGA, I think almost like 30 or 40 alternates from all the regions get through, and as you can see, I'm first alternate. So there's like a 99.9% chance that I'll be qualified. It's pretty much definite, but I don't want to say anything yet. But it's almost definite that I'll get through because I'm first alternate. So should be going to the final. I will keep you updated with that, and hopefully we can up the quality of the filming coming up. Loads of great content. And loads more events coming up. So stay tuned, and thank you for following along. Cheers, lads and ladies. What a shit intro. What a shit outro. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Do we give her a walkies?
Looks like a husky.
Do we give her a walkies?
A walk?